Well, there's a great idea, guys. Yet again, let's build a 40-year-old Honda ATC350X. Yeah, great idea. Anyway, about building an ATC350X, guys, I got a bunch of parts in. Let's go over them. Let's talk about the plans with this. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned. Let's get into this. What's going on, Garage Gang? Matt from GarageMC here. Guys, past 10 days since I bought this these two 350Xs. Well, it's been 2 weeks now at this point. Valentine's Day is approaching us, which, speaking of Valentine's Day, Quad Talk Live will not be Wednesday night because it's Valentine's Day. So we're moving this week's Quad Talk Live to Thursday night, same time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so February 15th. Our guest this week's going to be Curdy from 223cycles.net, longtime partial sponsor of the channel, and the only guy I go to for carburetor stuff, and a lot of other things too. But if you want to know all the stuff that he has and sells and creates himself for people like myself and you, whatever you may be into, as far as carburetors and Hondas and stuff go, we'll get into all that in Quad Talk Live. Also, before we get into the video, I promised you guys, anybody that joins the channel members board, I will put your name on the board and shout you out in each video as they, you know, accumulate here on the board. So here we go. So we have on the 125cc fan, which is the first level, 250cc is the second level, and then 500cc Big Daddy is the third level. Just so you guys know, man, if you're interested in checking it out, go down by the title of the video, by the description area. It will say a little tab there for you to click on that says join. Check it out, and if you're interested, get your name up here, man. I wonder who's going to be the first to pop the cherry on the 500cc board. But our newest members since Justin Carl and Paul Lapadula from the last video, we have Vinny D jumped on the 125cc train. 250cc members, guys, we got Mike Caldwell and Dennis Brooks. Big shout out to all you guys. Thanks for becoming members, and maybe your name will be on there next time. But anyway, let's talk about 350X stuff, guys. In this video, what we're going to do is I've been spending the past 2 weeks fighting nuts and bolts and corrosion and rust and picking the best of the two individual parts from each bike that I'm going to refurbish. This is a 85 350X build, guys. It's not a restoration, so, you know, sometimes that term restoration gets tossed around quite loosely, and a restoration means you're using all OEM parts, NOS. It's going back to exact factory specifications. So this is not what this is. This is a 350X build with an OEM vibe to it, OEM plus. So let me lay out all the parts that we got in so far. We're going to talk about what I still need to order, and we're also going to, in this video, talk about my color choices on a few things. So let's do that. So let's take a look at this one here, guys, and I'll tell you my color options here. I only have this frame here because the other frame is off to getting the gussets professionally done. I was going to TIG weld them myself, but I got so much stuff to do, and I can't afford to blow a hole in the other frame, welding that on there, and then have to repair it, and, you know in the back of my mind that it was repaired and all that stuff. So that's off getting done. I should have that back tomorrow or the next day, and then it'll be off to Bonehead Performance Coatings in PA to get powder coated the original red color, along with the motor mounts. The swing arm, not this one. This one's a little beat up, and I opted to use the one off the parts bike because it was very clean. It's actually in my sandblaster right now. That will be going the original cloud silver or something very close to it. Possibly. I have another idea that we might talk about here in a second, but so big shout out to Nick, West Michigan Motorsports. Hoorah! Sent me out this gas tank, guys, and she is mint, baby, except for that little rub there and the other side. So the other side, we've got a little dinger up here, man. Little dinger, guys, and a little knee dent down here, which is common, but I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. And as a matter of fact, while we're talking about the tank, this the 85 came with this cream white color. I'm going to be running 85 Meyer, not Mayer, it's Meyer plastics. I already got the new headlight bezel there. So 85, so it'll be red rear fenders, red shrouds, red fender, white tank, red headlight bezel. I'm going to do this in Shasta white, which is the 86 white. I like the, I like the cleaner white. I don't like this off-white color. It makes it look like it was a stained plastic tank, in my opinion. All right. Obviously, blue line graphics decals all over the whole bike. All 85 reproduction graphics for the Meyer fenders. They are different if you have OEM fenders. I would love to have OEM fenders, but I'm gonna ride this bike, guys, and if you start shopping around, just out of curiosity, and look at what some of the prices people are asking for very clean OEM plastics. If I was to spend that kind of money and buy those, it would take away from money where it's else needed on the bike, and I wouldn't ride it with the OEM fenders on there anyway. Let's face it, it's a three-wheeler, and if you're actually out there riding it, not pussyfooting, chances are you're probably going to tip it over at the very least. So I would really hate to, buy those, restore them, make them look beautiful, and then tip the bike over and break them or something like that. So we're going to run Myers, I always say Meyer plastics on it. I usually don't have a problem running Meyer plastics, and Jesse, this is not a dig towards you. I run them on my TRX 250R, my ATC 250R. Those look very good. The ATC350X ones, you could tell they're aftermarket from a distance. So, that's kind of bothering me a little bit, but it is what it is there. Moving on. So, red frame, Shasta white tank, 85 plastics, blue line decal graphics. Definitely check out bluelinedecals.com, guys. He's got you covered on reproduction, OEM style graphics, and custom, maybe, if you ask him nicely. But, that obviously would take more time. All right, so the engine. What we're going to do is, I am taking all of the good hardware from both engines, picking all the bolts that don't have any, socket marks or anything like that. All the bolts to the engine, the pivot bolt, all the bolts for the linkage, any of the hardware that goes to the triple trees and the little brackets for the lines. Those are all going to James over at Moto Blast. They're all going to get re-zinc coated. The engine, on the other hand, the head, cylinder, and two inner cases will be done kind of like the satin finish black from the factory. The stator cover, clutch cover, and rocker cover, I am going to powder coat those mirror gloss black. So those will have a gloss finish. I would do them the satin finish as well, but because of boot rub, I'd much rather have them powder coated. Let's see here, aluminum that is going to get vapor blasted. I am in the middle of building my vapor blasting cabinet. I have everything here, so I'm going to try that. If I don't like the way it turns out, the triple trees, the lower sections of the fork tubes, the rocker cover, the cam inspection caps or rocker cover inspection caps, and the rear shock will be getting vapor blasted also by James if I don't like the way, because it takes a little bit of time to work out how your vapor blaster is going to work, and I'm still debating on whether or not I want to even attempt that with this stuff. So I only have one set of forks left now. I sold one whole front end already. I sold the Meyer plastics that were on this bike to a buddy of mine. I also sold the extra headlight assembly, the one that had the messed up headlights. He's just going to use it for a rider. He'd rather have that than nothing on it, which is totally understandable. Yeah, so I got rid of a lot of parts already, guys. Nothing crazy, but the front end, that's an expensive piece to the three-wheeler. It's really what makes a three-wheeler is the whole front end. Let's see here, what else? I'm going to be running the Wicked Metal Designs foot pegs unless they make the ones like I bought for my 86 TRX 250R, the full billet aluminum, the BDT brand, I believe it is. If I can get those, I'd much rather run those than the heavier steel ones, but I do like the Wicked Metal Design ones as well. You know, it's a great feel on your foot, gives you a lot of stability, really grips the hell out of you. I bet that if you ever rolled this and ran that peg down your leg with them shark teeth on it, probably be adding to your stitch count. You know, if you know you go get stitches. I'm more of a, you know, paper towel and duct tape type of guy, and cross my fingers. But anyway, all right, we talked about the frame, the engine, the gas tank, the plastics, the aluminum on the bike we talked about, swing arm we talked about. So for wheels on this thing, I'm gonna order the set of 3 polished Boss Racing wheels with the tires. They're already mounted, balanced, and it's like $480 shipped to your door. Being I'm going to be riding this, that's what I'm opting to do for the wheels on this bike. The rear shock, once that gets vapor blasted, I'll have that rebuilt, and I'm going to re-powder coat the spring here myself. Anything that fits in my oven, I'm going to powder coat here. So the only things that are going out for powder coat are the new gusseted frame, motor mounts, and what else was there? I might send the swing arm out or do it myself. It depends if I can fit it in the other oven I have. So, all right, let's talk about some of the parts that I already got in and what else I still need to order. Also, I forgot to mention one of the taillight brackets. This one's a little tweaked. I could obviously straighten that out, but this one's nice and straight. That'll go with powder coating as well, since that goes the same color as the frame. A lot of the rubber pieces that come on this bike, like, you know, this is the one where the airbox bolt goes through the frame, and these hold the taillight, which are trashed. I need to find a set of those. I'm going to boil those in water. I went and already got a hot plate for the garage and a big, like, crab pot, old aluminum one. I went to, what is it, Goodwill, and found a big ass pot for like $2. So, you know, being we're going to be putting stuff that had petroleum and stuff in it, I don't want to go grab one out of the kitchen. These rear shock reservoir mounts, these will go to James as well and get re-zinced in the, I believe these are like the black or olive drab zinc, something like that. I've been referring to a lot of pictures on Google of OEM bikes to see what color a lot of things go. The pivot bolt will also go to get re-zinc coated. Can't really find a new one for that, and I'd rather run the OEM anyway. I already have it. Other used ones are like $70 on eBay. You guys would be surprised at some of the prices that people ask for some of this 40-year-old stuff, deteriorated and whatnot. I already have a lot of the bolts and hardware already separated, bagged, and tagged. I got all brand new bearings for the whole bike. So for the neck or the headset, the front wheel hub, the axle carrier, pivot bolt rebuild, I got brake caliper rebuilds. Everything that could be rebuilt, I'm going to rebuild. The rear caliper, they make a knockoff one. It's like $100. I mean, but I would like to just rebuild the OEM stuff and have OEM stuff on there. So, you know, you guys know how I am. I like to do little stuff like that. Yeah, it's easy to just go ahead and order the knockoff stuff, but, you know, I got the stuff here already, so might as well just go ahead and bang that out. You guys seen me rebuild a brake caliper for the TRX 250R. If you didn't see that, go check that video out. I'm not going to do another video rebuilding calipers. It's the same exact procedure. The oil cooler, that'll go flat black. The oil line that goes from the head down to the crankcase, I believe that goes black as well, but if not, that'll get zinc coated as well. So let's talk colors on this stuff. So here's the factory gray on the front hub. So the front hub, the sprocket hub, rear brake hub, and I'm going to run 400EX hubs on the rear for an extra 3/4 of width on each side, 1.5 inches total. Preston, yes, 400EX hubs fit on a 350X and a 250R. They just fit. It's just how it is. So let's end that discussion. let me pull out some of the parts that we already got. I'll lay those out, and we'll take a look at this stuff and end this video. Before I rudely interrupted myself about 400EX hubs, the colors on all the hubs. So like I said, guys, the front hub, the rear 400EX hubs, sprocket hub, and rear brake rotor hub, and I'm also the shock linkage here. Those I'm going to powder coat black chrome. It's the same color that's on the clutch and stator cover on my 465EX. So it looks very reminiscent to that. It's, you know, just because it says black chrome doesn't mean it's black. So that'll be all that stuff. Also, while we're talking about colors, let me know down in the comments, guys, the triple trees and the lower sections of the fork tubes. And if I do this, I'm also going to do the swing arm the same way. So either it's going to be vapor blasting all that stuff, so it looks like, you know, vapor blasted aluminum. You guys have seen that on my 465EX. It'll be the kick lever. I'm also going to do black chrome before we go into this. I'm thinking about either way with the triple trees. I'm going to sand out the casting or flashing or forging marks, however you want to call it, like on the triple trees. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the casting marks are like those sharp, see, like the sharp line there. So I'll sand those out smooth. I started doing it over here. So that'll be done to those. I'm thinking about doing chrome powder coat. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, ew, chrome? Chrome powder coat doesn't look chrome. It looks like polished aluminum. So, you know, to give it a level of durability, I won't always be cleaning vapor blasted bare aluminum all the time. I believe from factory, Honda put like a clear coat over all these bare aluminum parts. I think that's how they did it anyway. But let me know what you guys think about that. So it'll be the swing arm, the lower part of the fork tubes, the triple trees, and maybe the skid plate. While we're talking about the skid plate, let's go ahead and start looking at some of these parts that I had already got. So I got a skid plate on eBay, 85, 86, same thing. You guys have seen the headlight bezel. OEM fork boots. I don't like the aftermarket ones. The OEM's really the only way to go, in my opinion. Had to get the heat shield for under the gas tank. You know, this was like a $50 item here, used. It seems like nothing but a piece of compressed tin foil, but there it is there. The gas tank. So I, you know, grew up in my dad's body shop, so I have a very good idea on how to fix this. I've seen my dad do it a million times. I had to go buy one of these here. This is a stud, like welding gun, electric stud gun. What this does is, this is a mixing board for Bondo that I'm going to need because it ain't going to come out dead perfect. You know, metal stretches and whatnot. So this, I didn't even open it yet. Basically, these little, they're like little studs, obviously. They go in the tip of the gun. This tack welds it to the lower part of the dent after you grind it down. And then you take the slide hammer. This tightens onto that stud, and you just pull the dent out. You're going to have to do it a few times. Obviously, there's a few low spots on this tank. So I'll be doing that. I'm going to do that off camera. So, I mean, you guys will see a little bit of it, but not going to do a how-to on that, guys. I'm not like an authority with bodywork. I just kind of know what I'm doing with it, and I can get by. So I'm not going to do a how-to video on something I'm not, you know, somewhat of a seasoned professional at. It's not here to, you know, misdirect people. So the rest of the parts, I've had this DID gold chain on the shelf for like a year. Finally got something I could use it on, so we're gonna go ahead and use that. Save myself a quick $100 there. We got our OEM, or well, not OEM, but Honda service manual for the 350X. It's a definitely first part I always order. If you guys know my channel well enough, you should already know. That's always the first part I buy. I got some blue takeoff ASV levers. I went with a blue streamline front brake line, so that'll, you know, really complement the fork boots and the clutch lever and brake lever up on the handlebars. It's going to have aftermarket handlebars on it. I'm going to use the O'Neill handlebars that came on the bike that we did the Will It Run on out of these two. So this is the bag to the headlight bezel. I bought a whole lot of brake pads, and what came in there was these OEM new old stock front and rear brake pads. Not going to open those now because that's kind of like a little piece of, you know, a little nice little display piece. So I got EBC red stuffs. I think there's, yeah, here's the front one right here. So we'll be doing EBC red stuffs on this. That'll complement the rest of the bike as well. These are, I'm probably going to run regular aluminum colored ODI lock-on grips. You guys know these are my favorite grips. Or maybe the red. I don't know. It'll probably go well with the blue and the red on the bike, obviously. We got, I got to order a rear brake line in blue to match the front one, but I have this here. Got LED headlight bulbs for the 350X. I got a spark plug and oil filter, NGK, obviously, for the spark plug. Front caliper rebuild, rear caliper rebuild, so I'll be doing that soon. I got like 50 of these on the shelf, so we will be running an hour meter on here. I don't know where I'm going to mount it yet. Probably inside the gas tank fairing or something. Let's see here. I got our rear pivot bolt bearings for the swing arm. That whole kit there. Got new bearings for the front hub. These are the little rubber grommets that go in the swing arm by the pinch bolts. I got those OEM to replace them. The ones that were in there were all dried out. They came out in pieces, obviously, actually. Here's that NGK plug. Got the headset bearings for the neck. So these are new tapered bearings. The bearings that are in those stock are just a bunch of ball bearings. If you ever take a front end apart on a 80s ATC, you will have ball bearings all over your floor because they just come falling out. Tink, 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 all over the place. Rear axle carrier bearings. I'm going to rebuild the OEM carrier. So I don't know how, but I ordered 2 sets, or I think I had this one here already because it fits multiple machines. So you already know I'm going to choose Pivot Works over all balls. So that's it in this box here. The exhaust, Nick over at West Michigan Motorsports sent me a extra DG head pipe that he had, because the one that was on the bike that we did a Will It Run on is like, it's just shot and no good. I'm going to pull that apart and rebuild that silencer and do something with the way the rest of the pipe was put together. I'm going to clean that up and probably do a wrap on that. I have an extra end cap for an E-Series pipe, and I like the way that sounded in the Will It Run video. It sounded excellent in my opinion. Speaking of exhausts for the 350X, I know people have used 400EX head pipes on it and exhaust and all that stuff. I took the other DG pipe that I had and I gave that to my buddy that's doing the gusset kit on the other frame. He does a lot of fabrication stuff. I'm gonna try and he's gonna make a head pipe out of titanium for me. So don't know if that's gonna work out, but we will see. And if it does work out, he might make a few extras if one of you guys are interested after you see mine and hear it and all that stuff. Let's see here. What else did we get? I got all new cables on the way. So clutch, decompression cable. What else? I ordered 3M, the really nice like gaffer tape. I'm gonna re-wrap the wire harness, take care of all that. Both coils on this bike, the boot that goes on the plug, were shot on both, but what is identical to it, spark plug boot that goes on the end of the coil wire there, spark plug wire, that is identical to a 250EX. So this is off an 06 250EX. Even has the same markings and numbers on it. So that'll get replaced on there. You don't want cracked spark plug boots, and you don't want your spark arcing out of the wire. You're going to lose power and you could possibly damage other things. What else? I got new axle nut and everything. Speaking of the axle, guys, not really too much in the aftermarket world for a 350X axle, so I'm probably gonna have that either powder coated or I might just clean it up and clear coat it. I'm not sure yet. That'll work just fine. It's still dead straight. So that's going to be the plans there. And I'm sure I'll find a Durablue, you know, one will pop up in the future or something like that. Other parts that are going to be left over that I'm going to let go are going to be, I'm going to keep the top end, stator, and clutch cover off of this. And then I'm probably going to sell the bottom end. You know, all the clutch stuff will be sold separately. Any parts that I sell from now on, guys, in the next video, I'm going to give you a link to my eBay store because I've been pretty busy boxing up and getting stuff ready to ship out and doing listings and all that. I will not be selling parts to any of you, like personally, one-on-one. If there's something that I have available for sale, you can check the eBay store. I'll give you updates from here and there, like what type of stuff I put on there, but it's just easier that way. I went and got myself a P.O. box. I'm not comfortable shipping stuff to people with my address on it anymore. You know, it's not anything personal towards anybody, but it's just easier that way. Everybody's protected, and you know, the transaction's taken care of, and that's just how I'm doing it from now on. There will be no exceptions. I mean, you know, people that I'm friends with and stuff like that live local, that's a different story, but you know what I mean. So let's see, what else can we talk about here? I think that'll just about do it for this video. So thank you guys for checking this video out, man. Checking out my progress so far in the past 2 weeks. Gotten a little further and a lot more stuff in than I thought I was going to get in this quick, you know? Trying to do stuff in a timely manner from now on, and trying to stay focused. While I'm waiting for powder coat and stuff like that, by the time I get everything back and the zinc coating, I'm assuming it's probably going to be 2 to 3 weeks until we see another video on the 350X. So in the meantime, you guys remember my 330R? The one that I got all that stuff for and had all powder coated and everything, and then just stuck in the shed and totally forgot about, and then I was too lazy to dig everything out of its way to pull it out. Yeah, that's going to come in here. So before that, though, our next video, I have to put the CFM aluminum airbox on the LT250R, so we're going to take care of that real quick. That's going to be a short, simple video. I'll show you guys, like, you know, where you can get that CFM airbox. It's on eBay. It's not hard to find, but you do need to run a different air filter for that from Uni. And, you know, I'll show you all that stuff. But right after that, we're going to pull the 330 in. We're going to do the frame swap. I have to powder coat my A-arms, which I can fit in my oven, so I can take care of that here. No waiting to send it out and get it back. And let's get that puppy back out on the trail, because that bike needs absolutely nothing. I got everything here for it. So I guess it kind of worked out good, because we're prepped and ready to roll with that. I got every nut, bolt, everything. Full nickel works, bolt kit, and everything's there. Got everything for it. So we'll see that 2 videos from now. So LT, then the 330. And yeah, don't forget to check out Quad Talk Live. Check out the membership, guys. If you want to join the channel, man, jump on in there. It's, you know, even the most expensive level is like 50 cents a day. So kind of like those 1-800 commercials back in the day with, you know what I'm talking about. For just 50 cents a day, you could provide GarageMC with fresh zinc plating and, you know, rubber grommets and whatnot. And yeah, I'll see you guys in Quad Talk Live Thursday with Curdy from 223cycles.net, and I'll see you in the garage next time.